Well, it looks like maybe we are exactly live this time. Let's see how long this lasts. So, I came on today just to test out my stream and see if it's lagging at all. And see if anybody wants to join in. Rather short notice, but yeah, we'll see if somebody wants to join. And if not, that's okay too. Oh. Oh, hello, Brittany. How are you? Okay, all messages will go. Well, hello, Linda. Okay, let me see. My chat, oops. My chat is coming through, but let me go to another screen and see if it's, hi, Susan. See if it's coming through on my other window. Like I said, this is just an impromptu one to see. I've been working on this thing for days. So, hi, Daphne. How are you? Daisy, Penny. My goodness. My goodness. Let's switch to this. Oh, okay. Kind of chilly. Yeah. Yeah. We go from too warm to too chilly. And there's my chat coming in. Oh, my goodness. Am I having, are you guys noticing a lag? Because the first thing I see is hi Karen on the screen, but yet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people are oh, you got that. Do you know what I did too? But there's something wrong with my boom arm that it doesn't want to hold the clip in place, like that little round ball. It keeps falling, so I have to see if I can find another part, but we shall see. Yes, Daphne, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. News of the day is was at the doctor yesterday. Yeah, today's Saturday. So I was there yesterday about my arm, and they don't think it's my rotator cuff. They think I just have a trigger point on the back of my shoulder. So, hi, Gail and Penny. So I'm going to have one session of physical therapy so that they can give me like home exercises or whatever to do, and just wait it out because they said it's going to take 3 or 4 months for it to heal. So, I don't want to rush into anything. So the chat is lagging a bit. Okay. Does anybody know how to fix that? I have tried everything I can possibly think of and watched a gazillion videos, and it just doesn't seem to totally fix it. So if anybody has any wonderful ideas, what I'm using to broadcast is Streamlabs. So if anybody knows that software and they can give me any clue what to do, I will be eternally grateful. Eternally grateful. So anyway, so I'm just hanging in there with my shoulder and my arm, and I'm kind of just going to wait and see what happens and hope for the best. Okay. Teresa, how are you, my dear? We have to chat again soon. Yeah. And the other news I have is I shared this on my live the last time. I got a little yelled at because I didn't share it soon. Oh, don't mind me. I can see out the window here and I see these weird things going down the street. My Patoki stand. Oh, that's good to know. Then I'm not going to worry about it. I'm on Streamlabs, Teresa. So I'm not going to worry if it runs a little behind. Anyway, my Patoki stand is on its way to me, finally, after all this time. Finally. Now, what's disappointing is that I can track it. However, the only tracking I can see is that it left Odessa and it was passed on to the next carrier. And all I can see is it's in transit. So I don't know exactly where it is. Is it in the United States? Is it sitting in customs? It passed through customs in Odessa and it was passed on to whatever the next thing. So I'm waiting. Somebody on Facebook, in the group about stands and frames, just got theirs. Now they ordered the M5, which is a little different than the one I got. The M5 is the one that has arms on it like the needle need stands that you lay your frame across. Mine is an M4, which will lock in your frame or your hoop just like the mini stand does. So it has that clamp thing that you put that holds your hoop, and it comes at you from the side as opposed to coming at you from the front. So there was a woman that just yesterday received her M5 and she told me it took about a month. So mine shipped on the 8th. So we're 10 days in. Hi, Candy. We're 10 days in. So I guess I have a little bit more to wait. But I'm so excited. It's on its way. And when it gets here, my dear friends, I will do an unboxing and put it together video. And then after I have used it for a bit, like maybe a week or so, then I will do a review of how I like it. So Daisy. And you know what? It's really hard to decide what stand is going to work well for you. And you know what? A lot of people do very well with the cheap ones off of Amazon, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. It's all in what you want. Hi, Tracy. It's all to know, first of all, what you're looking for. Do you want a stand that comes from the front? Do you want a stand that comes from the side? Is like your first decision. And then that narrows down your choices so that you can, so you only look at ones that are going to come from the side, like the Lowry, like this Patoki, like, I don't know how many come from the side. Most of them come at you from the front. Oh, an Albert stand. Do you know what? Another friend of mine just got one of those and she loves it. Isn't that the one that let me think, the Millennium frame or the Quantum frame fits in, but then it's electric, that it rolls your um, your project and keeps it taut, if I'm remembering right. And yeah, I think that's the one. A friend of mine in California got one of those, and she loves it. She absolutely loves it. So yeah, yeah. There's all kinds. I mean, you just gotta. Let me tell you what. If I'd have kept every stand that I ever tried and didn't like and got rid of in one manner or another, I could probably fill this room with stands between floor stands and lap stands and everything else. I mean, I have Nerge stands sitting here. I have my Lowry right here. Um, I have my mini Patoki. Now I'm waiting for my floor stand Patoki, but I've tried an Elan and I didn't. If I was sitting at a table, it's fine, but I don't always sit at a table. I like to sit in my recliner chair. So that's not always a good thing. Yeah, it's just, yeah, trial and error till you find the one that just jumps out at you. Hade's on a cheap stand and the Chatelaine is on the Lowry. Well, you know what? That's the other thing. That's the other thing. You need multiple stands so you can have multiple projects to just, instead of rotating your project on and off the stand, you just rotate yourself to a different stand. Yes, I do like the Nerge stand, Candy, and I still do use it when I'm going to sit somewhere that I can't put my Lowry, or if I'm going away somewhere and I want to take a stand with, because that's a one that I can sit upon and it's right in front of you. So I like that. Um, my Patoki, mini Patoki, is great if I'm going to be somewhere where I'm at a table and can put that. That for me works best on a table. I can't manipulate it right when it's on my lap. And I know Deb of Country Stitchers, she puts hers on her lap all the time and can stitch that way. For me, it just doesn't quite work that way, because I'll go back to the thing of I have too much shelf. Those of you that have watched some previous videos know what I mean when I say I have too much shelf. For those that missed that, I was showing people an alternative, an alternative to using a stand, which was to get like a piece of lace or a piece of bias binding and hook it onto your Q-snap, and then I'm just going to show you with my tablet. And then you put that around your neck and you lean your Q-snap on your shelf, and then the ribbon holds it up so you can stitch two-handed. So, but for the Patoki on my lap, I have too much shelf. Brandy, how are you? Long time no talk. And you love the Monarch. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, yeah. You finally got to caught a live stream. Oh, good. Good. I haven't talked to you in ages and ages and ages. Yeah. So like I said, this is just an impromptu one. I thought I'd come on and do a little stitching and chat with you guys and see what's up in the outside world. Let me switch to my stitching screen, and we still should have the chat. Aha, we do. Hallelujah. I'm still working on Sir Frederick Frosty. I need to get my other set of eyes here. Oh, Brandy, we'll have to do a chat on Messenger or something sometime, because it's been like forever. I know, I know, I know. So anytime. You need one that's heavy enough that you won't tip over, that it won't tip over, Tracy. Yeah. And you know what? This Patoki one is heavy enough. I'm pretty sure it's going to be heavy enough, because the woman that was put a post on Facebook had to go to the post office to pick it up because the post people wouldn't deliver it because it being so heavy, and she said it was really, really heavy. So yeah, I think when it finally does get here, I'm gonna have to send my husband for it and say, go fetch my stand. Oh, it's 2:30, and oh my goodness, in Australia. Oh, well, I am so glad you stopped by. It was nice to have you here. Heather, you're in the car driving to Minnesota. Well, thank you for popping in and saying hi. Oh, well, Stitch with Corgi, you go to bed and have a good sleep. Maybe you'll get to catch me next time. I'm gonna try and do more weekend lives, because I think more people can can are available to sit and listen or watch or whatever the case may be. Okay, I got too many. I don't know about this. Sometimes I'm in love with parking, and sometimes it is not my favorite way to stitch, because exactly what you saw there, the threads just get in my way. And now I'm doing that one strand loop start. Yes. Oh, Heather, thanks for popping in. Do come back. Let's see. Crafty Librarian. Yes, I did grid my fabric myself. I use a ceramic chalk pencil. And yes, not right now, Teresa. Usually, Kaylee Cross Stitch does Sunday, but she did one this morning. Stitchy Witch, Carla, isn't streaming right now because she's moving. So, yeah, come on tomorrow and I will be there. How does the saying go? Be there or be square. Aw. Hi, Jody. Um, so go ahead. But anyway, I do grid my own fabric right now. Um, and I use a Bohin chalk pencil. to grid with, because I know that that definitely will wash out. And a lot of times, just fair warning, a lot of times when I grid with that, I mean, I can see them pretty well, but the lines sometimes just rub off. Just from, moving your hand over them. And now Teresa's going to yell at me because I should be stitching two-handed to save my arm, and I'm not doing it. I as I stutter. Yes, schedule one. Let me know what time. Oh, you'll schedule it. I'll see it. I have to force myself to stitch two-handed. I can do it just fine, but I do have to force myself to do it because my tendency is to want to do this, because that's how I taught myself in the very beginning of time, and it is the way I'm most comfortable to stitch, and it is the way I stitch faster. I mean, everybody says, oh, I stitch faster two-handed. Yeah, not me. I stitch faster one-handed. You're not minding, but proud of you for stitching. Hey, Barb. Do you have to go to work today? Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you, Teresa. You're sitting on my shoulder going, what are you doing? Just what are you doing? You're supposed to be stitching two-handed and not moving that arm around. I'm trying. I'm really trying. It's really hard to not resort to what you're so... Let me zoom in a little bit here, see if I can. Oh, I think you're zoomed all the way in. It's really hard to not resort to what you're comfortable, or what is your comfort way of stitching. It's really hard, but I'm trying. And I don't know how long this parking... I'm trying this new Royal Rose that Allison put out. It's very similar to stitching cross country in columns, but you only go down 2 squares. You do like 10 wide, but just down 2 squares, and you keep working across. However, that's all fine, well, and good, and I rather enjoy that, but I don't enjoy the threads hanging. And here's a tip for you guys. Oh, you going to your dad, Barb? Or to Rick's parents? Here's a tip. You know, everybody gets those plastic things that they wrap their threads around and then it closes. Well, I have a bunch of sewing machine bobbins that are metal, and I have magnets. So I wrapped it around a sewing machine bobbin and stuck a magnet on the back, and it does the same thing, and it holds it there. But now when I'm stitching here, my thread gets caught on these. So I find it a bit annoying. Just a smidge. So part of me, sorry guys, I'm going to lower this camera so I can get you in a little bit closer. So I'm going to make you ill here. There you go. Oops. There we are. There we go. Oops, wrong way. There we go. Oh, that didn't help much, did it? Oh, anyway. So I'm thinking I might try and stick with her um, basic concept, but I may just work to the end of a thread, however long it takes me. So it's kind of like um, it's kind of like doing cross country within the diagonal, is what I'm thinking of doing, cross country within the column until I run out of thread. Because the other thing is, with this system I'm using, my dilemma becomes, as everybody else, what to do with your leftover thread if it's a big enough piece that you want to save. So I really like that system, except I don't like having the loose stuff. Okay, let's see. Where am I missing the chat? You've tried right hand on top, left hand underneath, but left hand can't find the holes. The trick is to put your dominant hand underneath, because that's the smarter hand. It knows what to do. Because especially if you were a one-handed stitcher, that your dominant hand, and I'm right-handed, so my right hand is underneath, because that hand is way smarter than my left hand. And you put your left hand on top because my theory is because it needs supervision. So with your left hand on top, your eyes are telling you where to put the needle, because your left hand ain't quite as smart. So that may help. Tracy, you're right. That book is Take the Heart Out of Hardanger is a wonderful book. In fact, I like that book, Tracy, every bit as much as Janice Love's books. Hardanger Basics and Beyonds, and Hardanger, what is the other one? There's two. It'll come to me. I'm having a brain moment. But yeah, the Take the Heart Out of Hardanger is really good because it gives you tips for how to fix things if you made mistakes, or yeah, it just has a lot of good information in it. So good. I'm glad you were able to find it without much difficulty. In fact, what YouTube was it? I just watched a YouTube where the author of Take the Heart Out of Hardanger is also, oh, my phone's there, it's two women, and Julie, I think is her name, I want to say Julie Norton. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hi, Sandra. She's one of the two people that have that channel, and she talks about that book, about writing that book and whatever. Oh my goodness. If I will put it in the drop-down box if I can I'll research it and try and figure out what channel it was, but they do talk a lot about cross stitching, but she does throw a little bit of Hardanger in there. Let's see. Hi, Sandra. Can't believe you caught me live. Well, you caught me live because it was just an off the cuff. It was just I want to check out if I have this stuff set up correctly. And it seems to be working this time. It hasn't crashed on me. Hopefully, my sound is okay. Hopefully, there's not a lot of lag that I'm ahead of what you guys are seeing. So, hopefully, that's fixed. I messed around with this for 2 days to try and get it fixed right. I'm thinking, Daisy, you're thinking of doing Tree of Life for your first aid. You know what? Degree, my honest opinion is degree of difficulty shouldn't necessarily be the priority. What should be the priority, again, in my opinion only, is find the chart that you absolutely love. Because then, no matter how hard or how easy it is, you're going to want to work on it and you're going to want to finish it because it's something that you really love. That's how my Stitchers retreat was. Granted, it wasn't one of the most confetti heavy or the most difficult charts, but it was huge and it was a lot of work and it took me 5 years. But what got me through that was the fact that I loved that design so much and I wanted to see it up on my wall. So if Tree of Life is the one that you absolutely love, whether you're experienced or not, doesn't matter. Cross stitch is cross stitch. It's 1x at a time. And that's what you do. And even if you do like I've kind of done here, is break it down in little bits. You know, break it down in do 200 stitches, like 2 squares. You've done that, go to the next 2 squares. Or do 3 by 3. Or just pick a small area and concentrate on that area. Concentrate then on, oh wow, I finished a whole page. And what you got to look for is those little steps that give you gratification along the way. And that's how you get through it. So in all honesty, I don't think it really matters whether it's difficult or not. It's stitch what you love and use the count fabric that you love. No, nothing says you have to stitch on 25 count. If 20 count is your go-to or 18 count is your go-to, do what you're comfortable with, especially for your first one. You know, don't go by what everybody else does. No, you do you. Oh, what am I missing here? Brandy, you're right. Everybody does need to find their groove with two-handed stitching. And like I said, my left hand isn't near as smart as my right hand, so my left hand is always on the top. But that might be different. Anna, well, hello. Long time. Long time. How are you? I guess it's pretty hot and humid in California. Oh, let's see. Jody, everything is perfect. So I got my stream straightened out then? Are we good? We're good? Good. Good to know. You would not. I gotta tell you this. You guys are gonna laugh at me. You guys are really gonna laugh at me. I was tweaking stuff to try and get rid of the lag and do all this good stuff. And I was doing test streams, and I was doing them as private because I didn't, I wasn't staying on long. It was only a couple minutes, and I had like my YouTube window open so that I could see it, or yeah, I had to do it a certain way to be able to see and monitor it and to see if I was fixing the lag and all of that stuff. But I could never get the chat to work. And it was like, this is going to be the death of me. Why is my chat not showing through? And I'm sitting here with the chat window open, and you know how at the bottom it says say something, and you type in your stuff, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just typing random letters and hitting enter, and it's not coming up on the chat. And I'm going, what the heck? I bet you I went live privately at least 20 times. And finally, I read somewhere that when you're private, the chat is not available. And here I was trying to fix this doggone chat to no avail because it wasn't gonna work anyway. Talk about kick yourself in the head. Oh, so yeah, you can all make fun of me. I just had to, oh, fortunately I can laugh at myself and say, Karen, you were really stupid. Oh, Crafty Max, you're torn between Grand Library Max Color or Fire and Ice. What one to start first? Fire and Ice, that's not part of the Grand Library. I think that Quick Stitch for Grand Library is Grand Library Fire, I think. Do you know what I did? It's back there. I was gonna do the Grand Library. I really was. I really like it, and I really wanted to start it. But then, just that center with the chair and the fireplace came available as a quick stitch. So I started that. Yeah, I did. It's back there. Yeah. So I caved and I'm going to do that instead of the whole big Grand Library. But yeah, Brittany's right. There is a ton of people working on the Grand Library. In fact, there's a Facebook group to that effect, isn't there? I'm thinking that there is. Here, let me scooch back. I'll show you my start. Here I am again, Jody. I'm not stitching. Here's my meager start of the Grand Library's Fire. This is the center of it. Let me see if I can pull in a picture. Okay, you might see me fussing on the, yep, you will. You'll see me fussing. Let me get a new one. Oh. Photos. Oh, there it is. Woohoo! Okay, it's going to take up the whole screen, but oh no, it won't. There we go. That's what it looks like. So I'm up in that little bitty corner, up the top right. So this little red is part of the ribbon coming down, and then it will loop around. Yeah. So I kind of decided to go with that as opposed to the whole thing, because it's probably, I don't know, it's pretty big. But it's, oh, why does the FedEx truck have its blinky blinky lights on? Well, not stopping at my house. Sorry, distractions. But yeah, I thought, oh, I'm just going to do the center. So that's what I did. Okay. Brandy. Karen's got it right with picking a full coverage piece. If you don't, if you don't love it, you're not going to finish it. Guaranteed. Guaranteed you're not going to. Oops. Hey, wait. Woo. Clicking on wrong things. Yeah, if you don't love it, you're not going to finish it. It's just, and I think we've all been there, no matter whether it's a full coverage, whether it's a non-full coverage, no matter what the piece is. If you stop liking it, it ends up in the UFO pile. At least speaking for myself, that's exactly what happens. Yes, Jody, you're absolutely right. I was very determined that computer is not going to get the best of me. No way. I told you this before. I will sit and sit and sit and try and figure it out. And I talk to myself, and my husband says, "Who the world are you talking to?" Nobody, just ignore me. Yeah. Brittany, you're working on the Grand Library? Fire and Ice is a separate pattern. Yes, there is a group for Grand Library. I forget what it's called. I think it's just Grand Library. Well, here we'll look it up. As you can see, I'm back to my true to form thing of more chatting than stitching. Where do I have Facebook? Okay, can't see. I want to search. Grand. The Grand Library Haid Amy Stewart Stitch Along is the name of the group. Yeah, here you go. Grand Library Haid Amy Stewart Stitch Along. 280 members. You might have to answer a question or two to get in, but look at these. Some of these people are really far along already. My God. Then there's, I mean, I started the center part, but then there's that part of me that wants to do the whole thing. Now I'm going to be on the fence again. Yeah, you started. Penny, because it was private? Okay, I lost you. What was I lost what was private. Sorry. Yeah, there's Well, hello, Allison. How are you? I will join you yet this afternoon for a little bit. I just impromptu did this streams because I wanted to make sure it was all fixed after the oh my goodness, what was that Wednesday night, guys? We had such a kerfluffle. Um I don't know. I still not quite sure what I was doing wrong, but it would not it would not let me go live on the scheduled stream that I had. And oh my, it was just a mess. I think I spent an hour till I finally figured things out and then went live. And fortunately for me, people did find me, so that was that was nice because oh my, I didn't know where I was. Oh, Anna, you're gonna do the supersize Max color? Oh my God. Are you well? Yes, Jody, you always follow me everywhere I go. I love that. I'm going to switch screens here because obviously I'm not going to be stitching. Yes, Adam, he always shows up. He shows up when a dollar late, a day late and a dollar short. Yeah. And then what was it I needed help with and he didn't he chimed in but then he disappeared again. Yeah, I told everybody, okay, I'll stream tomorrow night instead in case I can get this fixed and see if I can get this fixed and um as I said, I was persistent. It wasn't going to beat me, and then I was back on, and everybody came and joined in, and it was fun. Oh, Allison, you're still working on Mother Dragon. Yeah, I think I have it sorted out. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. He was no help that day. No, he wasn't any help that day. What am I going to do with him? I have to I have to yell at him. I'm telling him he's not going to get a Father's Day present. Only he's not my father. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, Allison, I'm going to try and Zoom with you yet this afternoon a little bit. I don't know how long I'll stay. Yeah, and I don't know how long I'm going to stay on here. Because, like I said, I just wanted to make sure everything was up and running and the way it should be. And looks like that is exactly what's happening. What time is it here? It's 5 after 1. So there's a little bit of time. Just call me your stalker. I love it. I love it. I love it. I have a couple people I think that stalk me, but that's okay. It's always fun. So now you guys got me undecided. Do I keep going with the center of the Grand Library and just do the middle? Or do I do the whole thing? Votes. I could make a poll, I think. Do I know how to do that? Oh no, all messages you sent will appear. Yeah, I know that. Cross Stitch Crafting Max, come on after. We will be there all evening. There are 5 of us at the moment. Different people have joined and gone and coming back later. Oh, well, that's fun. Yes, Jody, he was a lot of fun, wasn't he? He's a good guy. Okay, I'm going to see if I can sign into this chat. Hold on. No, I have to do it from my browser. Little ducklings as they follow their mom. You guys are something else. You guys are just too funny. Well, see, that's the trouble, Brittany. They both called me. And really, when you look at the two, see, because this was also something I wanted to consider. Do I still have them both in here? Okay. When you look at just the center, that chart is 450 by 513. Okay. They're two separate charts, Jody. Yeah, the just the center is a quick stitch, and it probably wouldn't fit inside to do the whole thing. What I should have done is just done the center out of the original one I had. Oh, phooey. And the whole thing is 750 by 537. So, size-wise, 750 by 537. And what did I say the other one was? Oh, good Lord, brain. 750 by 530, or 450 by 513. So the one is a bit bigger. Okay. I'll see you, Allison. I'll try and get there in a little bit. Yeah, I originally intended to do the full version originally. And then my friend Barb showed me this one. And I thought, yeah, you're right. You're right, Jody. The picture. The just the center doesn't show many books or many fun things. Plus, the whole rest of the big one is just a challenge in itself. Yeah, I like seeing the books too. And see, I keep thinking, is this something my daughter would want to keep? Because she is a book girl. She is very much a book girl. And my grandson is very much a book boy. My granddaughter, on the other hand, well, she can take them or leave them. So I'm not that, as you see, I'm really not that far that I couldn't rethink this whole thing. And if I rethink it, I would do it on 22 count instead of this is 20 count. No, my daughter doesn't stitch. I tried really hard to get her to stitch, but nope. She's not having it. She's a reader, and this takes too long for her. So no, she doesn't stitch. I tried to teach her. Well, I did teach her. Yeah. I think I'm convincing myself. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not that invested yet. It isn't like I couldn't switch around, because heaven forbid, we've all done that. Now, I will have to say though, I mean, it would lean itself to parking to cross country, but it's probably a chart that, oh, you know what? Maybe it's not as terrible as I anticipate. do you do you see the do you see the smoke coming out of my ears? It's there, very faint, but it's starting. You know, the confetti is there, but I think if it's worked in sections, just like I was telling who was that? Oh, good Lord, Karen, your brain is like a sieve. Things just fall right through it. Um, yeah, you just take a section at a time. Do yeah, do like a 4 square thing at a time, or do Allison's method. But I don't think I'm gonna park. I don't know. I'm falling out of love with parking. Is just making me a little crazy. But I think I think sticking to sections and see, now I'm thinking out loud here, but I think I'm wondering, sticking to sections, stitching all of one color within that section, and then, or until your thread runs out. Because what I hate is dealing with those little leftover threads. Yeah, yeah. I think you're right, Jody. And what I try to look at when I do that is do the colors with the least amount of stitches first, so that when you're filling it in, that color with the most amount of stitches is covering up the thread carries. That's usually what I try and look at first, which is, it also helps keep your back a bit neater. I think. I mean, and not that that's a big issue, um, because seriously, your back is the back, and it is what it is, and um, nobody's going to see it anyway. Although, all of that being said, it is nice if it's not real bulky and real padded when it comes to framing, because it's makes it harder to frame if you have an area here that's really padded, and then you have an area here that doesn't have as much thickness in the stitching, and then till you get that stretched and all flat, and it doesn't, so that it doesn't look bumpy when it's framed. Now, there are workarounds for that. I don't know that it's done much anymore, and I could very well be wrong, but back in the day, we used to put like a piece of batting between the stitch piece and the mounting, so that if there was lumps and bumps, that helped to smooth it out. So, that is an option. Like I said, I'm not sure how often that's done today, or if it's even done at all. But if you're framing yourself, you can do as you wish. Although something like that, when it's taking years and years and years and years to stitch, I really would have it professionally framed. You wear confetti area in sections. Yeah, and you do that because Oh, you guys. Well, at least I know I'm heard. There are people out there that do take some of my advice. Not that I'm the wear all know all, because that sure ain't the case. There's a lot I don't know. A whole lot I don't know. But you know what? We try. Absolutely try. So, well, my test is going for an hour here. Oh, well, Chris, you're quite welcome. Oh, yes, you are worthy. Don't, no. Let me tell you what. People, people get into fangirling or whatever and forget that, it's just, we're all people just like everybody else. I'm just a stitcher just like you guys are. It ain't nothing special. All I'm doing is sharing experience from over the years. I've stitched for a long, long time, and I've learned many things along the way, and that's all I'm doing is sharing them with all of you. Because, we need to keep this alive. We need to keep this going. And what better way? There's things that people have learned and over the years that are worth sharing with newer stitchers, because we want to make it so that it's easier in respects, more enjoyable for people, so that they don't give up, and that there are people that keep on doing this. And I think the pandemic did awful things. Awful things. However, for this community, it did some really positive things. What it did was bring people back into the fold of stitching, because you're stuck at home, you have to isolate, you can't do this, that, the things that you always wanted to do or enjoyed doing. So people came back to stitching because they needed something. They needed something to do with the time. And I have seen a great resurgence in cross stitch over the last 2 years, especially. So things are a lot different today than they were back in the 70s when I first started. And there's a lot of people my age who are maybe a little younger, maybe a little older, who are starting to stitch again, and things are different. We got all the terms today that we didn't have then. We have all the designs today that we didn't have then. We were hard pressed to find things to stitch back in the 70s that wasn't, cutesy little clowns or teddy bears or whatever. And look at what we have today. God forbid we never had anything like a heaven and earth design back in the 70s. And so with things being so different, I think it's important to share those things and help people out and let them know. okay, this is what this is, or this is what this means, or, people go, FFO, what the world is an FFO? Who knows? It could be something that we wouldn't even want to think about. But, a fully finished object. Holly Hobby dolls, yes. But there's terms and there's acronyms that we never had, and we never had the ability to have this kind of a community where we shared these kinds of things, because good Lord, I really had no idea about computers back in the 70s. I didn't get, when did I get my first computer? Not till the 90s. And then I had to teach myself. So, we didn't have this ability. Heaven forbid, go live on YouTube. Was YouTube even around then? I don't think so. Have a video call on Messenger? Unheard of. Absolutely unheard of back then. So there wasn't the ability to develop communities and relationships like we have. So now is the time to bring some of the people that are coming back up to speed and catch up with us. Penny, thank you for stopping by. I hope you come back again. We'll see you again soon. And yes, I will take care of my arm. I am, despite it all, trying to behave. No, average person didn't have computers. No. Brittany, you started doing during the pandemic. Yeah, see? And then people come into this and there's seasoned You're one day short of 7 months older than me. Oh, Chris. So that means you're already 71. I will be 71 in, let's see, 3 weeks? 3 weeks? Everybody celebrates our country, and my birthday was often the lesser of the two. But that's okay. These days, I just as soon forget it. I just as soon go right on past it. Take that day out of the calendar. So yeah, we didn't have the stuff back then, and now look at us. How far things have come. Oh, especially as magnifier. Well, I have all kinds of magnifiers. I have this magnifier. I have these magnifiers. I have a Dazor magnifier. And sometimes I still can't see. Or I can see it. I just get too blurry-eyed that I can't do it for long, even with a magnifier. I was hoping magnifiers would help to my eyes not get as tired, but what are you going to do? As my song that I did not play today says, getting old is not for sissies. No way. No way. No way. One PA at my orthopedic doctor's office told me I got to quit hurting myself. I said, yeah, I know. How to make that happen is not always easy. So, well, guys, I think we are going to call this test a success. And thank you for helping me rethink my project. And I actually was going to do a stitch with me today, a recorded stitch with me, because I have not done that for a while. Oh, Brittany, you have to stitch without your glasses. My mom was that way too. She took her glasses off after I taught her how to stitch. She could see it better without her glasses. Not me. I need them, and I need the extra magnification. So yeah. So I think we're going to call it a day and say, you forgot it was only a test. Well, so did I, but that's okay. That's all right. No big deal. No big deal. We know it works. We know I have everything up and running. And I hope there's not too much of a lag, but it seems everything seemed to be okay. Oh, and before I go, I will put it in the Dropbox again. I do want to thank the folks that that donated to the Refugee Strong that my grandkids are working towards. I'll put the information in the Dropbox once again, but thank you very, very much to those of you that were generous in your gift giving. Just a little bit for those of you that weren't here on my last live. My kids are, my grandkids are doing some summer reading tasks in order to be sponsored, and then donate those sponsorships to a nonprofit organization called Refugee Strong. And what they're doing is trying to raise money to supply a library. And it is in Kenya. It is a refugee camp in Kenya that these children don't have supplies to be educated. There's like 9 people to 1 desk. They only have 2 books for the whole classroom, so the books are actually written on the blackboard. They don't have any type of computers, and when they have to take standardized testing, they're actually going and to take those tests, and they're seeing a computer for the very first time in their life, and then they're expected to take a test on it. So they are working, the kids are working to help raise money to help supply these children with the needed educational materials that they need. So I will put that information in the Dropbox again for anyone that's interested. Like I said, it's if you're interested, that's wonderful. If you're not, that's okay too. I just thought by putting it on my channel, we could have a cause to also help out. So be that as it may, the information will be there. I'll link the website that will tell you all about it, and I'll put the link if you're interested in giving a donation. It can be as much as $1 or whatever your heart desires. So anyway, you have a great rest of your day, Brittany and Jody and everybody else that is here. Chris, I'm just going up through the through the list. Candy, Anna, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Finally, the sun is coming out here in Pennsylvania, so that's a good thing. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I will try and catch you next week. But before I go, remember just one thing. Just one thing. You know, there are no rules in cross stitch, and the only rules are the ones you set for yourself. So until next time, my friends, Bye bye.